now, let's just give it a minute, quick minute for us before we can start, so that everyone is in and ready. So just a quick minute, and then we're going to start. But while we're waiting, let's start putting our minds into the lesson and ask ourselves questions about all that we've done so far, especially when it comes to fractions. Do we truly understand the fractions? Always I say that on a Friday, it's always good to go back and reflect and also think to say, do I truly understand? Do I get the concepts? Do I get what Sir has been trying to tell us? Or I'm almost there? Like, what do I understand? Do I fully understand? Or do I have gaps? Because it's important that you leave the school week, the school week, the Monday to Friday, knowing that you are meeting the weekend, having an understanding of whatever happens in the lessons. So without that, it becomes very difficult. Without always thinking to say whether I understand or not, it becomes very difficult for you as a learner, because you don't actually check and analyze your own very understanding of everything. But perfect. So today what I said I thought to say that, you know what, let's end off, because we already did addition and subtraction of fractions. So I said, let us go into division and multiplication of fractions. Let us start now opening our minds to all forms of how fractions are done and etc. But I just need maybe one or two people to tell me to say, how have they been finding fractions so far? Are you guys understanding? Do you need to be cleared up a bit? How are you finding fractions so far? So people can just raise their hands, and then we talk to say, how do you find fractions so far? Good morning.
Morning, sir. I wasn't
Good
sure
morning.
yesterday, sir.
How are you?
Fine, sir.
Good. So how are you finding fractions so far?
I wasn't sure yesterday, sir.
You weren't?
Yes, sir.
You shouldn't worry about that. Yesterday's video will be put onto YouTube, but we will do the lesson that we've been having yesterday. We'll do it again next week. So don't worry about that. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hello, sir.
Morning. How are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I'm excellent. So how have you been finding fractions so far?
I've been finding them very easy to understand.
Yes.
There's not really much to it. Nothing really confuses me, but I love fractions.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
All right. So it's good that we cleared that up to say that at least you find that you are actually understanding and the concepts, because as I said, it's important to sit down with yourself and think to say, do I truly understand what's going on? Am I able to participate in the lesson and understand what's going on, or am I just attending without So you need to always think and ask yourself such questions. As I said before, as I've marked next to my Twitter handle and email, please, guys, if you meet problems, please do contact me. If you meet problems, please do contact me. I am available. So if you find yourself in meeting problems and not understanding certain concepts, please do contact me. I am always readily available, and we can find ways of helping each other. Hello.
Hi, sir. Yes.
Yes, you raised your hand.
Sir.
Yes.
So since you've given out how we can contact you.
Yes.
So yesterday when I was in English class, when I was ending the day, the teacher said something about homework, and
yes.
she said it's somewhere on the cloud. And me and my mama checked where was the cloud, where the cloud was, and we couldn't find it, and we don't know really what it is.
Normally, what I'm not sure about other subjects, but what I do is that I give you your homework that you take a screen grab at the end of the lesson as the last slide. That's how I give homework.
Okay.
Or I give you questions that you write down as your homework.
Okay.
I feel it's much more easier that way compared to other means. I don't know how other teachers do it, but myself, I prefer that the last slide that you're going to see is your homework.
Yes, sir.
All right, is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So, let's get into the lesson. So we're looking at multiplying and dividing fractions. Right. So, just like yesterday, who can tell us what is the most important thing that you must remember when multiplying and dividing fractions? What is the most important thing you must think about when multiplying and dividing fractions? What is the first thing that must come to your mind when multiplying and dividing fractions? What should be in your mind first when you're multiplying and dividing fractions? What is the first thing? Remember yesterday when we were talking about addition and subtraction of fractions, we said that the first thing that has to come to mind is that the denominators must be the same. So in terms of multiplying and dividing fractions, what is the first thing that must come to your mind, that must strike you before you try anything? What is it? What is the thing that must come to mind first before you do anything else when you're dealing with multiplication and division of fractions? Going once, going twice. All right. When you're dealing with multiplication and division of fractions, the first thing that must come to mind is that we don't divide fractions. We only multiply fractions. There's no fraction that we divide. We only multiply fractions. And when you multiply the fractions, you multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. It has always been like that. That we don't, we don't divide fractions, and whenever we multiply, it's numerator against numerator, denominator against denominator. So always when we're doing a fraction, right, and we find that we have a division sign, we change it to multiplication, and then in order for that to be mathematically correct and fine, the second fraction, the one on the right, swaps position. So the numerator becomes the denominator becomes the numerator. Why? Because you change sign. You change sign. I'm looking for my cursor. Because you changed operation here. That's why when you change it, the numbers on the right have to flip and change. And then you just multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. I'm going to give you guys a minute to write down the examples. Don't write down the messages here. Just write down the examples. I'm going to give you guys a minute, or let me say I'd rather give you guys 2 minutes. So please, please, please write these 2 things down and then tell me in the chat when you're done. Tell me in the chat when you're done. Please, please, please write this part down and this part down, and then text me in the, then you can write me in the chat when you're done. As I said, I've given you guys 2 minutes to try the question. So who is done? As you have a minute left, who is done? One minute left. Who is done? So we can start looking at examples, then go to the class exercise. Who is done? Some. I need 3 more people, but you have 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. I need 3 more people to tell me they're done. Then we'll change the slide. Ten seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? I have my 3 people who have told me they're done. We're changing slide. We are changing slide. As I told you guys, what's important is that you also take screenshots, but it's fine. So first things first, first step first is that you align the fractions next to each other, right? After aligning the fractions, this is just multiplication. Multiply the numerators with numerator, denominator with denominator. So it's 4 times 3 is 12, 5 times 10 is 50. Then you simplify. Since 12 and 50 are what we call even numbers, I can divide 12 by 2, and I have 6, and 50 by 2 is 25. That's it. So you align the fractions next to each other. You multiply the numerator with the numerator. So it's 4 times 3, and then 5 times 10, and then you've got, please write this down while I explain. So you've got 4 times 3, 5 times 10, which is 12 over 50. And then you've got, after the simplified, say 12 divided by 2 is 6, 50 divided by 2 is 25. And then you're done. That's it. So you multiply numerator with numerator, denominator, denominator, then reduce it. So simplify it, so make it a smaller fraction, and then you're done. I'll give you 2 minutes to write down these steps. 2 minutes to write down the steps. Your 2 minutes has started. 2 minutes to write down the steps. Step 1, align the fractions next to each other. Step 2, multiply numerators with numerators and denominators with denominators. Step 3, simplify the fraction. That's all. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. Step 1, align the fractions next to each other. Step 2, multiply numerators with numerators and denominators with denominators. Step 3, simplify the fraction. So please let me in the chat if you're done, so I can go and we can look at an example. Please let me in the chat if you're done, so you can look at an example. Then I'm going to explain even further. Please tell me if you're done writing in the chat so that we can look at an example. Make sure you write down the steps. You have about 30 seconds left. You have about 30 seconds left. You have about 30 seconds left. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Let's go into examples. Let us go into examples. Right. I have 1 over 3 multiplied by 2 over 5. So all I do is say 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 5 is 15. Easy as that. I've got 3, 1 over 2 multiplied by 4, 1 over 5. I change this into an improper. 3 times 2 is what? 6 plus 1 is 7 over 2. And 4 times 5 is 20 plus 1 is 21 over 5. The denominators stay the same. Then I multiply. 7 times 21 is what? 147. 2 times 5 is 10. Then I simplify this. Then I say 10 into 147 goes on times 14 times. 10 times 100, 14 times 10 is what? 140 plus 7 is 147. So you've got 14, 7 over 10. You're done. You are done. So all you do is you put them next to each other, multiply, numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator, then simplify. Any questions? Hello.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hold on. So I'm not quite understanding. I mean, I was listening, but I'm not quite understanding.
What's the problem?
It's like the side of this side, not the other side with no big numbers. The other side, where it says 3.5 times 4 and 1/5. So I'm not quite getting it. Do you like times the big 3?
Oh, you want to know, like, do you know how we changed it to get into an improper fraction?
No, yeah, that's what I want to know. So
right. So what we do whenever we change a number into an improper fraction, we multiply the whole number with the denominator and we add the numerator. 8 times 2 plus 1, which is 7, and then we use the same denominator. Same story here. 4 times 5 plus 1, which is what? 21. Keep the denominator, which is still 5. Then you have 21 over 5. That's what you do.
Yes, sir.
So you multiply with the denominator. You take the whole number, you multiply it with the denominator, you add the numerator. It's always like that.
So
Even
we add the
in and
two
subtraction of
numbers.
fractions, we do the same.
So we like we plus both of the times both of the numbers together.
Yes, after doing that, then you multiply 7 times 21 and 2 times 5.
Okay.
And then I had 147 divided by 10. Then I simplify that, which is going to give me 14, 10 over, 7 over 10. Even if I check here, look, 14 times 10 is what? 147. Plus 7 is what? 100. No, 14 times 10 is 140. Plus 7 is 147. Keep the denominator over 10.
Yes, sir.
It's the same way when you want to go back.
Mm.
You say, how many, if I'm going to look at how many times does 10 go to here, I'm looking for a whole number that is with me to ask how many times does 10 enter to 147? It goes what, 14 times, right?
Yes,
14
sir.
times 10 is what? 140. So what am I
Yes, sir.
short with to get to 147? Just 7. Then I write the 7 as my numerator.
Yes,
When I
sir.
change from it being already mixed to improper, I multiply the denominator and I add the numerator. Once you've
Yes,
done this
sir.
part, then it's very easy just to do the 7 times 21, 2 times 5. Then you
Yes,
write
sir.
on perfectly.
Yes, sir. So do we
All
need to
right.
write this down?
Right. I was about to say that. Please, guys, write down the example. Right.
Sir.
Let me also put on my timer. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So you've got 2 minutes to write down the question. Then I have to show you guys division. Then I have to show you guys division. Then I have to show you guys division. Wow, you people are already finished. Wow. Okay, I'll still give you some time to write down the questions. Then we go to division. And then after we do division, you guys do the class exercises. And then our story will come to an end, because then it will show that we are now understanding. And then next week, we start tackling everything together. So next week, we're going to interchange. One time, we're going to do questions that are addition and subtraction. One time, we're going to see, can we always be able to perform the answer? Needless to say, what are they asking for? As long as they're asking for fractions. That's what we're going to be doing, because that's what the thing is. We're going to ground ourselves. Important to ground yourself. And check, do you understand? That's the most important part. You have about 30 seconds left. You need to always check, do I understand? Ask yourself such questions always. Do I understand? Am I not confused? What don't I understand? Help me clear that up and ask questions. Raise your hand here in the chat and ask questions to say, what is it about this that I'm not understanding? Because once you're able to clear that up, maths becomes easy. Remember, I always tell you guys, it's about the why and the how. Why? Why did you answer the question that way? How? How does it work? How did you use the method? The how and why are very important in maths. Once you understand those two, everything works out for you. Everything works out for you. Right, 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time up. Let's go to division of fractions. Yes. Right. So with division of fractions, again, You now change. Look at the difference between this one and this one. You're changing the sign. Why? We don't divide fractions. You don't divide a fraction by another fraction. That doesn't happen. You don't divide a fraction by another fraction. Remember that a fraction of itself is a division itself. When we look at a fraction of itself is a division, right? It's a division itself. It's already being divided by itself. When you look at now here, 16 over 10 over 16, it's actually 10 divided by 16. We don't divide a fraction by another fraction. We always either add, subtract, or multiply fractions. So you change the sign. So the division becomes a multiplication sign. Then because you change the sign, something in the whole equation needs to also change as well. You can't just change it from a division sign into a multiplication sign without changing something within the whole fraction. It's very important to change something within the whole fraction so that it works out. So when I change this into a multiplication, I need to swap this around. So I say the numerator becomes the denominator becomes the numerator becomes the denominator. I swap it around. So I have then what? 10 over 16 multiplied by 2 over 3. Then I just do multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. 10 times 2 is 20. 16 times 3 is 48. Then I simplify. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 48 divided by 2 is 24. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Then I'm done. So all you do in here, the only difference between this one of division and multiplication is that I change this into a multiplication sign and I swap the denominator with I swap the denominator with the numerator and the numerator with the denominator. And then I have the equation like that because I changed this into a multiplication. Please write this down. Then we're going to look into a question now. Please write it down. You have 3 minutes to write it down. You have 2 minutes to write it down. That's all you're doing. You change it into a multiplication. Why? Because we do not divide fractions. Fractions are never divided. Please, 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 please. Don't do a mistake. You don't divide a fraction by another fraction. That doesn't happen. It will never happen. Even if you want it to happen, it won't happen. It won't happen. So please write this down, all of these steps down as well. And then I'll go into looking at questions again and I re-explain and reiterate myself so that at least at 8:35, we'll be doing some sums. We'll be doing some classwork. At 8:35, we will be doing some classwork. Who is finished? Who is finished? Who is finished? 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Can I have notification at least of 4 people who are done so we can change slide? 4 people who are done so we can change slide. 4 people must be done so we can change slide. Please, guys, also, as I say always, you can screenshot. I taught you guys the Windows key plus the one that's there next to F12 called print screen, which is PRTSCR. Please, 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 please. I have another question. It's good. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I don't really have much of a question.
All right.
I just wanted to tell you that I'm not using a laptop for this. I'm using an iPad.
So you're going to press, but you must be careful. You know
Yes.
the part that you touch, right?
The what?
The square in the center, right?
The
The one that
square.
you use, the one that you use, the button that you use to press for home on
The
the
home
pad.
button.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the one you hold, and then the power button. You press that at the same time. The power button at the top. That's how you screenshot with an iPad. So you press that up, you hold the bottom, right? And at the top,
Yes.
the power button, the one that you use to switch it on in case maybe the battery goes off. And you click that once, and then it's going to do a screenshot for you. That's how you screenshot on an iPad.
Okay.
Did it work?
I haven't tried it yet.
You should
So
try it.
which one should I press first?
So you hold them at the same time. You
Okay.
hold them at the same time, so you have to be quick. So you put your one finger on the center by that button there, the one in the center, and the power button at the top, and then you just hold and you click quickly, like bam, then it's a screenshot.
Oh, I got it.
So it did the
Thank you,
screenshot,
sir.
right?
Yes,
All
thank you,
right.
sir.
Awesome. 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 Right. If you're using an iPad, you press the center there. There's that button in the center of the pad down there that you use to press for home with the square. And at the top, there's a little button there that you use to switch on the iPad. And then you click that at the same time. Both of them at the same time. It will take a screenshot for you. You will just see the screen going. Once it makes that sound, it has taken a screenshot. Right. I think everyone is done. Let us move to the slide where I want to explain to you guys what is really happening. What is really happening here, so that you guys can do exercises in the last 5 minutes. Right, so I have 7/5 divided by 11/20. And then what I do is that I change this into a multiplication. That's my first step. I change it into a multiplication sign. That means this one must be swapped. So the denominator becomes a numerator, the numerator becomes a denominator. Then what I do is that I say 7 times 20 is 140, 5 times 11 is 55. Then after that, then I ask myself, how many times does 55 appear in 140? It's twice. 2 times 55 is what? 110. For me to get to 140, I must get a what? 30. So it's 30. So it's 230 over 55. Then I asked myself, how many times does 5 appear in 30? 6 times. How many times does 5 appear in 55? 11 times. Now I've reduced it enough because I found a number that divides both the 30 and the 5. So now it's reduced enough. Same story this side. I change this into an improper. Multiply with the bottom, add with the top. So I have 7 times 5 is 35 plus 3 is 38 over 5. Keep the denominator. Then I have divided by 3 times 2 plus 1, which is 7/2. You keep the denominator because 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Then I change this into a multiplication. So once I change to a multiplication, denominator becomes numerator, numerator becomes denominator. Then I have 38 over 5 multiplied by 2 over 7. Multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. 2 times 38 is 76, and 5 times 7 is 35. Then all I do is that I ask how many times does 35 appear in 76? It's 2 times. Then I write 2 times 35 is what? 70. What do I need to get to 76? 6. So I have 2, 6 over 35. You have 1 minute, or let me say 2 minutes to write down both examples. That's it, guys. That's it. It's very easy. All you do is that you're changing the sign to multiplication, then you swap around things. You swap around on the right-hand side, the fraction on the right, you swap around the numerator with the denominator, and then you just multiply the fractions as normal. Then you're done. And the nice thing about multiplying fractions is that it doesn't matter whether they're the same or different. You just multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator, and life moves on. You've got 1 minute left. Then I'm going to give you guys your class exercise. And then after that, I pop up the homework. And then we are going to close. We are going to close for the day. We are going to close for the day. You have a minute left. 1 minute left. 1 minute left. We have 1 minute left. So please, please, please. As I said, people are learning now also how to screenshot and stuff like that. So if you know that you must write down something, take a screenshot. Just take a screenshot. It's to use technology as much as possible. Make life easy for you as much as possible. Make life easy for you as much as possible. Make life easy for yourself as much as possible. Make life easy for yourself as much as possible. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just go directly into the exercises. Right. Oh, sorry. Why is not going back? You guys can't see the answers. Yes. All right. Behave. Right. Wow. Sorry about this. Please do. Number 3 and number 3 and number 1. For the next 2 minutes, do number 3 and number 1. Your 2 minutes has started. Do number 3 and do number 1. Do number 3 and number 1. Let's see, do both division ones because they'll end up in multiplication. So try both division ones and see if you understand the concept of swapping around, flipping and changing. If you know that you must swap around after changing the thing, do number 3 and number 1. And then after that, I show you the corrections. And then I show you homework. And then we close for the day. We'll close exactly at 8:45. We will close exactly at 8:45. We'll close exactly at 8:45. You have 1 minute remaining. 1 full minute remaining. I won't be able to give you extra time. So just see as best as you can, as quick as you can. If you're able to get the answer, then I'll explain both of them. And then after that, I show you your homework, and then we just have one more round of questions, and then we're done. I show you your homework, and then we're done. 30 seconds. 30 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time up. So first one, we have 35 over 6 divided by 5 over 6. 35 over 6, then I change it to a multiplication. I take the denominator, I turn it to numerator. I have 6 over 5. Then I multiply. 35 times 6 is 210. 6 times 5 is 30. 210 divided by 30 gives me 7. Done. Then I have got 45 over 12 divided by 3 over 2. Then I say 45 over 12 multiplied by 2 over 3 because I had to swap the denominator with the numerator. 45 times 2 is 90. 12 times 3 is 36. When I simplify these two and I divide them by 9, oh, it was supposed to be a 4 here. Sorry about that. It was supposed to be a 4. So 90 divided by 9 is 10. 36 divided by 9 is 4. It's supposed to be a 4 here. A 4. The answer here is supposed to have a 4. So 4 into 10 goes how many times? It's supposed to be 2 times, right? So it's going to be right. It's going to give you 2 times. And then you have what? Final answer is going to be 2 times 2 over 4. And then the final answer is going to be 2, 1 over 4. Sorry about the mistake. 9 goes into 36 4 times. 4 times. So you're going to have 2, 2 over 4, and then 2, 1 over 4. Yeah, just sorry about that. Actually, 9 goes into 36 4 times. Let me just clear that up. And then you've got, this will be your final answer. This will be your final answer. Do we have any questions? Quickly, please write down this. I'll give you guys a minute to write down both of them. And then also, if you need to screenshot. And then do you have any questions before I hit the homework? Or do we all understand? Are we all understanding? If you're still a bit confused, we will do the lesson again. Just try the homework, and then we're going to do it again next week to try and see if we're getting better. Right? Let me just get to the homework, straight into the homework. Here's your homework. If you're writing it down, do number 1, number 3, number 6, number 9. If you're writing it down, you have a minute to just write down the questions. So it's number 3, it's number 1, number 3, number 6, and number 9. That would be your homework. Right, I've got 2 people raised their hands. Let me start here. Hello.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir. And how are you?
I'm good. You said that you're a bit confused. What are you confused about?
So I'm confused about the division, sir. The
Remember I
division and the
said
fact.
change the division into a multiplication, right? And then all you do, just swap the fraction on the right-hand side. You swap the numerator with the denominator and denominator to the numerator. So you just, if
Okay.
over 2, you're going to just take it into 2 over 3.
Okay, sir.
And then you just multiply. So try the homework, and then next week when you do it again, see if you're still going to be, if you clued up or not, because we have to close. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 100%. Last question. Last question. Hello?
Sir,
Yes.
since I know how to screenshot now,
Yes.
can I like? But also, I took photos of it on my mom's phone.
Yes.
So because my iPad doesn't have like a little pen thing, and
Yes. You can just
and
do
my
it.
hand.
You can do it in your
Can
book. Do it in your book.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
Is that it? All right. I think that is it. All right. Guys, goodbye. Thank you for everything. I have to respect the time. So thank you for everything. Thank you guys for attending. You people are amazing. I love all of you one by one. See you all on Monday. Be safe, be well, be happy, stay forever happy, stay forever smiling. Enjoy the weekend.